So there's an idea of, 4, interesting number. You put 4 ideas together, it creates like a tetrahedral structure, which is interesting because it has a volume. So you can be inside the volume, you can feel what's in the volume. So I've been taking these points of a tetrahedron and labeling one as my passions. And I have 4 points that I'm focusing on primarily for my passions, what defines my passions. And then 4 points in dreams, what defines my dreams, 4 points that define my dreams. And goals, 4 points that define my goals. And most important, because you will not be able to move forward without very careful attention to this last point, fears. Your number 4, number 1 fears of what are you terrified of in the world? Right? Because that's what's stopping the whole thing. So you need to keep all these things in check and feel the volume and feel the resonance of yourself inside that volume of these 4 points to really get an understanding. Because when you have that understanding of yourself and ground that, whatever you do, whether you're making a sandwich in the kitchen or going out and having a business meeting in a cafe or, throwing a dance party, whatever it might be, you're doing it from the volume of yourself. It's coming from your essence, and your essence is imprinting, and that code is imprinting on every action that you contribute to the world.
What's the difference between goals, passions, and dreams?
Passions is an action that kind of activates your excitement, activates your authentic essence. You feel your name. You feel your bliss and ecstasy and excitement resonating in this action. Your dreams is the escape in which you can interact with those passions in the world. It's the face of the reality to which you're in. And the goals are basically you're creating a point, like a track. It's like, this is what I'm defining as success, accomplishment, and completion. Like, this is what I'm defining as what's worth striving for or moving towards.
Would having fear in the tetrahedron be the concept that actually holds back the others?
No, because it forces you to have to make it palatable. It forces you to have to look at it. Fear's not there to run away from. Fear is there to see what you're afraid of, right? And if you're containing that in the same picture as what you most desire, if the fear is what's stopping you and making you run away and turn away from your dreams, if you can look at it there and not run away from it, then you can just take all the data and just breathe through life, right? Without holding back because you're afraid of something. Just see the fear. Okay, the fear's there. You can still breathe through the fear, especially when it's like partnered with your dreams and your dreams and passions and goals, right? Everything you want to create, right? It's not outside of that element.
So the volume is in relationship to what you want to create?
To what you want to create, but who you are more. It's more like a signature. It's more like an identification piece of, am I coming from my own heart right now, or I'm coming from some like outside structure that I adopted someplace that's actually, not quite, it's a way of centering yourself so that you're always making the best choices for your own person. Because that's what the world needs. Like, that's what, it's about contributing your passion and your desires, your dream, your life to this, collective success.
Can you give examples of goals, passions, and dreams in your own life?
Yes, I can. I got this audio back here. Should I play that?
Sure.
Okay, so this is passions. And then I repeat them. I just put them on a loop. And I play music while they're on a loop. And then I'm doing other things. So I'm just anchoring these.
Dancing in the streets.
Okay, so this is passions.
Dancing in the streets. There's a guitar strapped to me. I'm able to tune into a global musical live stream. We're making cool video cards with our friends. Dancing in the streets. There's a guitar strapped to me. I'm able to tune into a global musical live stream. We're making cool video cards with our friends. Dancing in the streets. There's a guitar strapped to me. I'm able to tune into a global musical live stream. We're making cool video cards with our friends.
So these plug together actually in a very, particularly meant to be sequential. I recorded them like that for the creation of like my most expression of passion in a volume. Going into this is Dreams.
It's an Alpha Beta Delta music festival. I'm intimately in a bed with 3 girls. I live in a world of gratitude and grace. The success of Elijah's work brings global respect to life. It's an Alpha Beta Delta music festival. I'm intimately in a bed with 3 girls. I live in a world of gratitude and grace. The success of Elijah's work brings global respect to life.
Well, to be in the same, I guess, breath of you being in bed with 3 women is that's quite a accomplishment, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's just what you said. It's like you're talking to Lucielle. It's just like, and you experience listening for the first time. You're like, wow, I've never experienced that before. I'm like, I've been thinking about that lately. It's like, yeah, I haven't had a way to communicate, so I don't know how to communicate. Like, I don't know how to just have a fucking conversation with someone. Yeah, I'm excited for grounds, structures to be like in place where it's like, you hear me, like, and then as soon as that happens, like, feels good to actually connect, Goals. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4.
To create comfort in sustainable currency flow. Start a children's show that encourages healthy lifestyle choices. Exercise in joy regularly. Experience friendship as my nature. To create comfort in sustainable currency flow. Start a children's show that encourages healthy lifestyle choices. Exercise in joy regularly. Experience friendship as my nature. To create comfort in sustainable currency flow. Start a children's show that encourages healthy lifestyle choices. Exercise in joy regularly. Experience friendship as my nature.
I love it. So you're giving yourself feedback mechanisms in relationship to what you want to create.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you want to hear the fierce ones too?
Sure.
Yeah, so it's like it's just keeping me stable to, like, an essence, right? It's an essence. It's like, that's not success of this moment, isn't the manifestation of that. It's just that has encoded in it my own essence. So constant, like, stabilizing that frequency or that idea in my now allows me to act, in my passion now. Okay, so and fierce. Very important not to leave this one out.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're fucking dead in the water when shit starts going down.
I'm alone and I always will be. I won't be able to grow up fast enough to hold respect for my experience. My sexuality costs too much to taste. My friends and family will never be able to connect to me. I'm alone and I always will be. I won't be able to grow up fast enough to hold respect for my experience. My sexuality costs too much to taste. My friends and family will never be able to connect to me. I'm alone and I always will be. I won't be able to grow up fast enough to hold respect for my experience. My sexuality costs too much to taste. My friends and family will never be able to connect to me.
So one of the things that the structure allows you to do is, that was the first time I used this structure. It was the first thing I created with it. I also made the second version, which is I took that and I applied it to my ideal job. And so I took my ideal job and said, what am, in my passions, an expression of passions within my ideal job, and dreams and goals and fears. And all of a sudden, it's like, now I have this volume that's just myself, but now I can create that volume about my ideal job, and I can create that volume about any concept that I want, really. But it's really powerful because with the passions, dreams, goals, and fears, it's real. You're anchoring reality. Like it's very whole. It's very stable. It's not just like the positive thoughts. Especially with the fear card, is really important. Keep that in comfort. Keep your friends close, your enemies closer. It's really like that. We don't destroy our fears. Really, we just live through them until joy becomes us.